Hello family and friends, it's Rob the Sapper Gardener representing Essayons Family Garden, and I'm out here. It's a little drizzly right now, but we did quite a bit of work over the weekend, and we got some different clips. We're gonna show everybody what we're trying to do back in Micro Orchard 2 and a little bit of work we did over in the garage garden. So let me show you guys that so you can see what we're up to and what we're trying to do. So we're slowly getting things done and getting new plants in the ground. Our peach tree's doing okay. Still gotta stake up some of the ones leaning, but we've gotten a lot of silage tarp down to suppress the weeds, so we have a little bit less cutting. Got our blueberry hedge started. We got a rosemary hedge. We've got our pomegranates in the ground. Most of them are doing good. One may have given up the ghost and gone to the upper room, but overall everything is looking good. And we've started putting out the new roll of silage tarp. We ran out, so we had to order another roll. 150 foot only goes so far, and not as far as you expect. Our pawpaws, 2 of 3 are still alive and kicking, even though one is covered up with blackberries. The one back here in the far corner is no more, but we'll take the berries that killed it off and call it even. Yeah, that's part of gardening. And we put out a new patch of silage tarp here. We've got some pallets and paving stones holding it down. We still got to pin it in, but we'll be able to cut into this and to plant bushes and trees, or we'll cover it with containers like we did here. We just moved some containers we already had. Got our potato mounds set up and they're growing. Just heal them up a little bit more. But these containers will do good to hold things like peanuts or perennials that we decide to move back here, and we'll still put some corn and okra in, and we think it'll do well. Yep, this area we still need to clear out, and I still want to make this into a hugel mound. It's just piled up debris along with the tree stump, but we'll get to it when we get to it. And over here we got another pile behind our old chicken coop, and we'll get to that too, and we'll hopefully have enough space between it and the fence to turn it into a hugel mound, or we'll transfer it over closer to the walkway so that we can do that. And one of the things we're planning to do, we got a bunch of sunchokes, and they just keep coming back year after year, and we never eat them all. We always have plenty left over to replant. We're going to do over here an in-ground area, but when we do, we're going to make sure it probably maybe 10 by 10 foot plot, maybe 12 by 12, but we'll have them in ground surrounded by silage tarp and probably a border of bricks, or we'll figure that out, maybe landscape timbers, but we'll keep silage tarp down so they don't overgrow and invade other areas of the micro orchard. And that way, if we eat them all, we eat them all. If we don't eat them all, they'll just keep coming back and not become invasive like the mint. And we still have a few more fruit trees we got to get in ground, but we'll get to them eventually. Yep, and we're going to try to keep this walkway area clear. It's wide enough for the John Deere now, but we also want to keep some space. And if I have to mow, I have to mow.
but we want to keep a wide enough area where if I do have to bring the pickup truck in here, I can do that. We actually did that when we filled up these beds. I just backed the truck up and we got the garden soil directly off the bed into the garden beds, off of the pickup truck bed into the garden beds, and we're happy with that. We did lose a few fruit trees, a peach tree and 2 pear trees. Cut those out, and we'll replant something over here, but we'll space them out a little better than we had them spaced before. Probably put a tree somewhere in this area so we have room to walk between the trees, and if we need to have a path to mow. But cleanup's going good and things are going good for the most part. That one grape is going up like it's never been bothered. This grape plant, our Nimrod grape, we had to put some protection around it because bunnies or something found it, and grape leaves are tasty and nutritious, so they were going to town on it. So we put a ring around it, and it's coming back to life. And our lemongrass is doing well too. We got a weed eat around it again, but it's doing good. And just like that, we got figs. That one's almost ready. We got more down there. So we are definitely going to try to get all our potted figs in the ground or in raised beds this year. Yeah, hopefully we start to get more production. And we'll be collecting radish seeds soon. I'd almost forgotten. Actually, I had forgotten. My wife reminded me that we had radish over here last year. So, second year, loads of seeds. We won't be buying any more daikon radish seeds for a while. And our volunteer sunflowers, of course. So some of these have nodes on them, like they want to produce fruit, so we'll see if we get lucky enough to get more figs, but we won't know for a while.
Yeah, we needed to do quite a bit of cleanup in our micro orchard one area, and we had plenty of time on our hands, so we came back and kind of gave a look, and then we did a bunch of cleanup here. So we cleaned up both micro orchard areas just as a look before, and I'll show you a little bit of work in progress and some of how it looked afterwards. We got kiwi and weeds everywhere, so we have to sacrifice some of the kiwi so that the other plants are safe and can grow, and we had to cut back a bunch of these weeds. So yeah, a lot of work, but it's worth it. And we use all the cuttings as a kind of green mulch, if you will. So we rake it all back. We use it to cover up our hugel mound areas. We add it into our compost. We put it any place we think we can use some more organic matter, and it looks a lot better after the sweat equity we put in. So we got quite a bit more we still need to do over there, but it's slowly coming together. And one of the things we really want to do, besides keep the rabbits out of our garden, is to get any potted plants that will survive in our grow zone in ground. We've got quite a few figs we want to get in the ground. We've got some wintergreen berries, we've got elderberries, we've got quite a few that we've been overwintering in our greenhouse, and we want to conserve that space for the ones that absolutely have to be protected. So we're going to do that, and hopefully everything survives in the ground, but we can't baby every plant continuously every year. So things like figs that we know will survive, we may get some dieback, but we know they'll survive. Elderberry, wintergreen, even our olive plant, we're going to try to get in the ground so that we know that they'll be taken care of. We had another pomegranate we got in today, so we'll see how things go, but we've got limited space in the greenhouse, and we just want to make the best use of it. So we want to thank everyone who came along and followed what we've been doing here. It's an ongoing journey. We know no matter how much we get done on one day, there's going to be just as much to be done the next. So thanks everyone for following our family's journey as we try to live a nice, self-sufficient homestead life. So on behalf of the family, this is Rob the Sapper Gardener saying God bless our great country America, and God bless you wherever you reside around the world. Take care. And if you're growing a garden, boom, grow it up. Take care. Sapper out.